how does a rational consumer behave in a situation of choice making under the conditions of risk and uncertainty? What decision will he make in this condition of uncertainty? There are some hypotheses developed in this regard. Bernoulli's hypothesis is one among that. Bernoulli's hypothesis is in fact an explanation to the St. Petersburg paradox. So, what is the St. Petersburg paradox? We have to first know what does St. Petersburg paradox mean. St. Petersburg paradox states that given a state of uncertainty, an individual will not be ready to play the game even though it is fair. So that means a rational individual, a rational consumer or rational investor will not play the game, will not choose the economic activity leading that could lead to different outcomes, even though that is a fair game, or even though there is 50-50 chance for gain and loss, the individual will not be ready to play. This is the paradox. So standard version of the St. Petersburg paradox can be traced back to the St. Petersburg game, and it was developed by Nicolas Bernoulli in 1713. And the St. Petersburg game is a gambling where coins are flipped, coins are tossed. So once head is landed, you get $2. When head is landed in the second flipping or second tossing, you get $4. So when head is landed in the third flip, you get $8. So this is the kind of game in which are held in St. Petersburg, Russia. So this is St. Petersburg game. So you here have to understand that all these the participating in this game is not free. You cannot go to the casino and participate in this game without paying a fee. You need to pay the fee. This is in fact an economic activity. You have to pay the fee. This is not free good, this is economic good. That means you need to pay. But you may get something if the head is you select head, and when head is landed, when the tossing of the coin, then you get $2 if it happens in the first tossing. If it is if a head is landed in the second flip, for that you need to pay more. You need to pay separately for the second flipping, and if you need to participate in the third flipping, you need to pay again. And if head is landed in the third flip, you get more dollars and you have to pay more as well. So this is a type of game that could lead to some gain, but it is not free. You have to pay for that. But it is found generally that, or Nicolas Bernoulli found that normally most of the individuals were not ready to play this St. Petersburg game. So even though it is a fair game, nothing is objectionable to the fair game, as a fair coin is tossed with head and tail. The possibility for happening head in the first flip is 1 by 5 1 by 2 or 0.5 probability, and there is also 0.5 probability for not landing the head in the first flipping. So this is a fair game, but people were reluctant to play this kind of game. So this is St. Petersburg paradox. This was identified by Nicolas Bernoulli in 1713, as I said, and he made an explanation for this type of behavior of the people. This is Bernoulli's hypothesis. It is an explanation to the St. Petersburg paradox. Even though it is originally traced back to the St. Petersburg game happened in 18th century in Russia, this is in fact still it is applicable to the current working casinos where gambling is taking place with 50-50 chance for winning and losing. That means another example for St. Petersburg paradox is sports bet. You can engage in a betting on a cricket match. You can stand for winning of the match. If you win the bet, you will gain. If you lose the bet, you will lose. So still it is applicable. And look at the Bernoulli's hypothesis. And rational consumers take decisions under risky and uncertain conditions on the basis of expected gain or expected loss. So expected gain or loss is important in making decisions. So this is an important hypothesis in the decision making theory. So this is in fact expected gain or expected loss is not measured on monetary terms here. So expected gain of money or expected loss of money is not the basis in fact in the decision making theory of Nicolas Bernoulli. And according to him, it is expected gain or loss of utility, not money, is the basis for which the decision is taken. So as far as the rational consumers are concerned, most of the people are in fact risk averse people, and they face a diminishing marginal utility of money. And the hypothesis states that expected loss of utility will be greater than expected gain of utility, even though the game is fair, or even though the odds are favorable, even though the game is favorable, or even though the game is fair. The expected loss of utility would be greater than the expected gain of utility. So it can be understood from the diagram. Before that, let's look some of the assumptions of Nicolas Bernoulli. Decisions only taken under risky and uncertain conditions. So this hypothesis is applicable for the decision making process that we have to make under the risky or uncertain conditions. So when there is any certain conditions with 100% probability for that, this is not applicable. And decisions are based on expected utility, not expected money, expected income. So gain and loss of expected utility will be considered. If expected utility of gain is greater than loss, that will be chosen. But in normal case, in the case of the risk averse individuals, gain of expected utility would be normally lower than the loss. And let's look the diagram of Bernoulli's hypothesis that we have already seen in the case of risk averse people, in which marginal utility of money is diminishing. You can see a downward sloping curve of marginal utility. It is diminishing. This is the condition for the risk averse individuals. And initially the individual has 10,000 rupees in his pocket, and he engages in a betting with 50-50 chance for winning and losing a game. Suppose this is a sports bet. An individual engages in a bet with another person. If he win the bet, he will gain an extra 1,000 rupee. This is the gain of money if he win the bet. If he lose the bet, he will lose 1,000 rupee. Then his income will decline to 9,000 rupees from 10,000 rupees. If he loses, his income will increase to 11,000 rupees from 10,000 rupees if he wins the bet. But then here in this case, this is a fair game and 50-50 chance for winning and losing, and this is a fair game, as I said. And the expected outcome, expected value, expected income here is 0, as gain and loss are same, but the decline in marginal utility is greater than the gain in marginal utility, because the person is facing diminishing marginal utility of money. This is the case of the risk averse individual. So consumer will surely avoid gambling, this kind of gambling, when the odds are 50-50. That means this is a fair game with 50-50 chance for winning and losing. This is another case. What the person will decide when it is a favorable game, and suppose there is the winning of the game is highly likely and losing of the game is less likely. That means this is a favorable game to the consumer. So in this case also, the consumers will tend to avoid the game, as the loss of utility if he lose the game is greater than the gain of utility if he win the game. Here in this example also, 10,000 rupees is the initial income, and he engages in a betting, sports betting with a person, and if he win the game, if he win the bet, he will his income will increase to 12,000 rupees from 10,000 rupees, an increase of 2,000 rupees if he gain. If he lose, his income will decline from 10,000 rupees to 9,000 rupees. That means expected income here is positive. Normally he should have invested, he should have engaged in this betting process, in this economic activity, but he may not be ready to play the game. Why? Because his the loss of utility is greater than the gain. Still, this is due to diminishing marginal utility of money. That means rational consumers are hesitant to play the game. Even though the game is favorable, he will not be ready to play the game. When the game is fair, he will surely reject the game. He will not participate in this fair gambling or favorable gambling. Even the reason is the gain of expected utility is lower than the loss of expected utility. Loss of expected utility is greater than the gain in the fair game and favorable game also. So he need to have a positive expected utility, for only then he will engage in this kind of economic activity. Otherwise he will be reluctant to play the game. This is the explanation by Nicolas Bernoulli in 1713 on the St. Petersburg paradox.